Hi everyone, today I'm gonna talk about one of my projects that I have been working on for a long time now is the llama.cpp. And as some of you who already attend to my talk earlier yesterday, I already covered the overview of the project. And today I want to focus and dive deeper into one aspect of the project is the multimodal support. So my talk will have 5 main parts. I will show you a quick demo, and then a little bit of introduction, and then I will introduce the project. It's called libmtmd, and then how I interact, how I plug this project into Llama server, and then I can show you some future plan. Okay, so let's dive into the demo. For the demo, I will use a model. It's called Qwen 2.5 Omni. And this model supports both audio and image input at the same time as long as text. So if you want to reproduce the demo yourself, you can follow this link, which provide you with also our model. So here's the demo. On the right side, I have the terminal, and on the left side, I have the browser. So I'm gonna run this command, which will run the model. Yeah, so everything is now running offline on the computer, and I can access this web interface, which is on localhost, and you can see the model name here, and it supports both audio and image input. So now I'm gonna take a photo and an audio file. Let's see. Yeah. So the audio file is the speech is called "I Have a Dream." And now I'm gonna ask the bot something. So tell me about how this photo and the audio related. Yeah, so you can see on the right is processing, and then it gives you back the answer. So it can answer that is "I have a dream" speech, and then it's mentioned that the image has something to do with the audio. So now I can show you also the image in a clear stage. Yeah, yeah. So that is the demo. And so let's introduce myself a little bit. So I'm a software engineer at Hugging Face, and I'm one of the core maintainer of llama.cpp. I'm the top 5 maintainer. And this is my website and my social platform if you want to follow me. My slogan is doing AI for fun, not for profit, because I care more about the science behind AI. Okay, so let's dive into a little bit of history. So you can also follow the blog post that I show here, which I have more deeper view into the subject. But in a nutshell, what is happening when you enter an image, an audio or text into the language model? So firstly, they get converted into embeddings, and then they get fed into the transformer, and the transformer will transform that embedding into another embedding, and the embedding get converted back into logis, and then you can sample the logis to get the next token. Yeah, so some people may say that the transformer or large language model is like text native input, but it's not really the case here. In fact, most of the model, all of the model, transformer model nowadays, they are not text native, but they are embedding native. So the whole idea of multimodal support is to find a way to convert your input into embedding. Yeah. So next. Okay, so what is the development process of multimodal support in llama.cpp? So we start with the initial support in October of 2023. we have support for the lava model. It's called liblava. And then sometime around after that, we support our model, also our model. And we also at some point support the llama server implementation. But then what happened is that the code get very complicated, so no one wants to maintain it, so it got removed. And when it get removed, so how does people use, well, people still want to use multimodal with llama.cpp. So what do they use? They have to invent, for each new model, they have to invent a new binary for this model. So for example, if you're gonna use lava model, you have to use lava CNI and maybe mini CPMV. But it's kind of confusing, right? Because for example, there are models that is fine-tuned based on this model. So now you come up with a brand new model that you don't know which is the correct binary to run it. Yeah, so why multimodal is removed from lava server? As I said, at some point we start to think like much more serious about maintaining the lava server. So we have to remove it. Okay, so what was the old way that we support multimodal is via something called liblava. So liblava contains two smaller components. The first component is clip.cpp. Contains an implementation of vision transformer. And lava.cpp is just a thin wrapper around clip.cpp to allow it to interact with llama.cpp. And both of them have public API. So for a long time, liblava is good enough, but then we start to have many models with different kind of architecture. So we have at some point we have too many specific code that only support one single model. And then we also have some APIs that some model use it, but it's only for that model, and our model don't want to use it. It also does not handle chat template at all. And I will show you a little bit later why it is like a big thing. And to convert the model into GGUF, if you don't know, GGUF is the format that llama.cpp support. And to convert the vision part, the multimodal part into GGUF is really a big problem. Yeah. So what I set out to do is to firstly to refactor the whole API. So I want to make the code is more reusable across multiple models. And also I want to have a better documentation. Secondly, I want to generalize the API. So finally, the main goal is to bring back the multimodal support to Llama server. And the third thing I want is to make the conversion of multimodal model become easier using the same script as the language model. Okay, so this is my first attempt, and if you can see the date, yeah, I think that's it's September of last year. And then after the new year, I come up, I come back again and try another thing, but it's still not enough. Why? Because it was too ambitious. I set out to do too many things at once. And then at the same time, the main library, the liblama or llama.cpp code was changing very fast. So it introduced a lot of conflict that I need to resolve with my PR. So introduce libmtmd is my next project after that two failed attempts. So it's initially proposed as the Lava 2, but then someone said to me that it may not be the best decision, because we cannot rely on just one name, like a branding name. So I said to myself, yeah, let's try a name that is no one else ever used before. So I come up with multimodal, and I take this letter NTMD from the word. Okay, so what I set out to do this time is to firstly to support true multimodal input, like you can input text, image, audio, and maybe in the future, maybe if you have a robotics thing, you can enter the touch data, the sensor data. It must be minimal, simple, and the API should be well documented. And it should be completely outside of libllama. So if ever one day libllama, the contributor, the maintainer, decide to like split every file into like move every file, then still there's no problem for me because I'm outside of the main project right now. Okay, so to solve this problem, let's revisit the architecture of liblava or glib.cpp. So the first thing you see is that these two liblava and glib.cpp, in fact, they are two separated parts of the equation. So when image go in, liblava calls the function in glib.cpp and then convert the image into embedding. And then this embedding gets fed into the libllama, which contains the transformer, the language transformer inside. And then at the same time, if you have a text prompt, it will bypass the libllava. So what is the problem here is that what happens if you have both the text input and image input like interleave one each other? Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. For example, in this example, you want to input an image and then you want also to ask the model what is image is like about. So you have a chunk of text and then an image in between and then another text. So if we go back to this slide, you will have to control this input yourself, like to switch between text and image in your code. So it won't be a happy thing to do as a developer. You don't want to do that, yeah. So what I propose is, why don't we have one unique API for everything to input all at once? So you can input everything at once without even having to think how to format them together. And then the core, the MTMD API will return a list of chunks. So each chunk can be either an image, an audio, or a text, or something else in the future. We don't know and we don't care. And then each chunk you can fed into the MTMD, libmtmd again. And then the libmtmd itself will be responsible to transfer everything back into the libllama, and then you get the text out. Yeah, very simple. Okay, so what does looks like when we have, so all of this is, let me go back here. Okay, so the text and image input will be fed into something called tokenized function in libmtmd. So the way it works is that when you fetch the text inside, you can place the image, you can have an image placeholder. In this case, it's the media marker here. And then you also give the image separately. And then the libmtmd, it will be responsible for produce the chunks that is correspond to the text input and the image input that you give it. So very straightforward. And what happens when you have multiple media? Simple. You just give it multiple markup, and then you give it multiple file or multiple input, and then it will format it accordingly. Okay. Okay. So once you have on the chunk, there's a helper. A helper is a function that is very easy to understand without much deep knowledge about it. So in this case, I have a helper that allows you to evaluate, to input on the chunk back into the libllama. Okay, so the first PR I published, it was on April of this year. And as you can see on the title, I explain why I called the name, because I chose this name MTMD because the libmm and libmmd, these names are both being taken by our project. So I come up with the name MTMD. Yeah. And not so long after that, in May of this year, I add the support for audio input. So the first model that supported it was the Ultravox model. Yeah. So what does the API looks like? The API looks like this. This is a tokenized function, as I showed you earlier, that you can fed both text, image, and input at the same time into this one API. So what this looks like is that you have the text, and then you can leave some marker, the media marker inside the text, and then you have the equal number of bitmap. I call bitmap here, but actually you can have both the audio bitmap and the image bitmap. Maybe in the future we have our kind of bitmaps, but yeah, it's outside of this context. And the first application to adopt this API is the NM Studio. So NM Studio, they got it running in some of they actually migrate from the old code base to the new code base using the libmtmd, and they are very happy about it because now they have much less code to maintain. And okay, so we for now we support some component and some features that this model allows us to do. For example, we support audio input, which is based on whisper encoder. So for example, we support Ultravox, as I showed you earlier. And then we also support Qwen audio. And I forgot to mention here, but we also support Mistral it's a new model. It's called Mistral. No, sorry. Yeah, I don't remember the name. Yeah, but we support a model from Mistral. And then we also support dynamic resolution, which has multiple implementation. So for example, some models use MROP or 2D ropes like Pixton or Qwen VL. We support interpolation like Kimi, the newest Kimi model. And we also support kind of, let's say, old model which slice the image into smaller batch like mini CPMV or Lava or Llama 4. Yeah. And some new model also support something called pixel shuffle or batch merging, which reduce the number of output token from the image encoder. Yeah. So for the full list of every model that we are currently support, you can follow this link, the link shown here. Yeah. So what about Llama server? So the main problem is that many functionality is already built into the Llama server, and it's only work with text, and we build it with the assumption that we only support text for now. Yeah, so this some example. Yeah, and the solution is here. We should provide a compatibility layer. Of course, is very difficult. So the second solution is just to disable them. So which part is too complicated to migrate, then let's disable them. Yeah. So for example, this is one example that we want to reuse the KV cache each time we add a new message into the conversation. So this part works very well with text, but for image it's a little bit tricky because now we have to care about does two images equal? So we have to keep track of the hash of the image data. Yeah, and the web UI is also one of the big things that I work on. So during the development of this multimodal part, I had to rewrite the whole web user interface. So I also include some some user interface improvement. Yeah. And I have just shown you the demo earlier that I can upload file into the server. And for the bonus, we also moving away from React.js. This front end that you're seeing here is built on React.js, and we are moving to Svelte, and it will be very soon. Yeah, and we support uploading file as I mentioned earlier. and the PR is merged for server. Yeah, this is for server. So the PR is merged not so long after libmtmd is present inside llama.cpp. I think it's take me like 3 weeks or 1 month. Yeah, so what did I do with that? I do this kind of viral demo. I didn't thought that it was that viral. I just like, yeah, I'm so bored and I want to do something just to introduce to you that I add the multimodal support into llama.cpp server. And I make this small demo and it's gone viral. So if you want to check it out, please follow this link where I have a web server that can show you what is happening on your webcam in real time. This in real time, locally, yeah. So what are future plans that I'm working on? So the first thing that I really want to do is to support audio and image generation. So many models nowadays support image generation, as you know, like the newest Qwen image. Yeah, so this is one thing that I really want to work on. And then you also have many text-to-speech model coming in the past, and we should support all of them. Not all of them, maybe some of them, but yeah, we should support it. And for now, one of the main big problem, I think is a big problem for end user, is that you have to use 2 GGUF file for multimodal. So one GGUF for the language, and the other GGUF is for the multimodal encoder. So in the future, what we want to do is to combine these 2 GGUF into one single file. The next thing in my list is to integrate the libmtmd directly into the main library libllama. Why? Is because for now, if you want to use libmtmd in your application, if you are a developer, you have to package all of these 2 packages separately. But if everything in one big package, it will be much easier for you as for developer. And the last thing, maybe not the last, but the last here in this list is to support video input. So entirely, we should already be able to support it. But because the video input is so different between model, and not many models support it right now. So I think I can do it a little bit later, not right now. Yeah, so in conclusion, in this talk, we already have a quick introduction on the vision on the multimodal support of llama.cpp. We dive deeper into how it works and what was the timeline where it was implemented, and how it was integrated into Llama server. And we also discussed some future plan. So if you want to try it, please follow the link to the GitHub project. And if you have questions, you can also either ask here or or send me a message on my social platform. So thank you, and time for question.